Hello YouTube, this is the Bucket coming at you today with the Bucket's opinion of the worst design, most dangerous gun that the Bucket won't even shoot. And that is the Smith and Wesson 9m, SW9m, often referred to as a Sigma pistol. That was a whole series of pistols. This is the single stack backup gun that was primarily designed, I guess, for police officers to have a backup pistol. Let's go ahead and talk about the specs. This gun comes in at 6.75 inches in the length. Its barrel length is 3.2 inches. Its width is 15/16 of an inch. It's 4.5 inches in its height and comes in at 17.02 ounces. You'll see that it's a polymer frame pistol with a ZMAC or a zinc alloy slide, and it is a direct blowback design like you would see from the High Point C9 pistols. It has a 7-round detachable box magazine, and again it shoots 9mm. They also made a version that looks almost identical to this. It's called the SW9m, and that's probably the gun that you're going to see more common. The direct blowback pistols, those are usually in guns that are 380 or smaller. There are a few exceptions, like the High Point C9 that is a 9mm that is going to be in a direct blowback. And usually when you see those guns, they have really big slides to add that mass to hold that gun in battery until the bullet actually ends out, which means heavy slide, heavy recoil spring. Now you'll see this does have a heavy recoil spring, but it is, to me, it's a really, really bad design. So how they get this gun to work is they have a pin that's right back here that holds a metal piece that's right here that actually holds the gun together. And that heavy recoil spring, again, keeps the gun in battery until the bullet leaves the end of the barrel and enough pressure goes down that then the slide can go back and fire safely. What makes me really nervous about this gun is that roll pin is holding all of those pieces back together in this all plastic frame or polymer frame, which means if there is a failure of that roll pin or this plastic right back here, that piece is going to fly back into your face. That's a lot of risk for not a lot of benefit, because again, like I said, you know, you've got your 7-round magazine here. That's one more round than a revolver. And a revolver is going to be about as cheap as this pistol is. You can get it in 38 special, which is going to keep you plenty safe. It's probably going to be more reliable. It's probably going to have less malfunctions. And I just don't see the upside of this particular pistol. My buddy, the UGD, did one on this exact pistol, but in 380, where 380 for a direct blowback is probably much more common and probably a lot safer. This gun is just bad in every way, shape, and form. The texture of the polymer frame is very, very slick. There is a little bit of texturing back here at the back and up here at the front. Actually, the ergonomics of it doesn't feel so bad, except for the fact that with 9mm as a direct blowback design, this thing's going to want to jump out of your hand. The ZMAC didn't take the paint very well. It looked like they had a drunken monkey with a can of Krylon actually putting the spray paint on here. They didn't bother even putting sights on the gun. All they have is this integral trough sight, which means that it's really just a belly point type gun. The Bucket loves cheap guns. One of my favorite guns is the Zip 22. It's a terrible design. There's design problems with no extractor in it. The ergonomics of it is awful, but it tells an important part about gun history. It talks about a gun owner or a gun manufacturer that had an idea. Yeah, it was a bad idea. Yeah, it was poorly executed, and this gun never runs. But it's kind of cool, and in the man cave for the Bucket here, I just end up enjoying it. It doesn't matter that it doesn't run. And with it being a 22 caliber, it's not going to probably cause me a catastrophic failure that's going to have me lose a finger or lose an eye or something like that. This is Smith and Wesson's just absolutely poorest executed pistol that I think I've ever seen. And if you're at a gun show or at a pawn shop and you see one of these, man, if you want to just have a gun that you're never going to fire, that you're just going to have as kind of, I don't know, an example of a great company doing a terrible thing, well, then maybe you should pick it up. But this is one of the few guns that I will not shoot. Give me a Bryco, give me a Jennings, give me an RG, give me a Jimenez. All those guns, while they have some problems, maybe they're cheap materials, maybe they don't have, maybe they're going to not be the most reliable pistols, but they're probably not going to cause you any major catastrophic failure. They're probably not going to have as many catastrophic failures as I'm worried about this particular gun. The Bucket really loves all types of firearms and really wants people to enjoy whatever they want to enjoy. But if anybody ever said to me, I'm thinking about picking one of these guns up, I would tell them, please do not. It's just not safe. Not to mention the fact they didn't even bother putting a magazine catch on it. So the only thing holding the magazines in are these plastic tabs on here, which is just begging for some point in time those things are going to break, and then the magazine's just going to drop right out of the bottom of the gun. If you have one and you love it and it's been great for you, hey, I think that's awesome. And if you want to put a comment telling everybody that I don't know what I'm talking about, please feel free to put those comments down here in the bottom. But if you're asking the Bucket, what's the worst gun that a manufacturer has made in the past 50 years, it's going to be this particular gun. I want to thank you guys for supporting the channel. All the likes, the comments, the shares are really, really appreciated. And as always, you stay classy, YouTube.
Little middle baby Bucket, do you want to live in California?
No!
Why?
Because I'm not a communist.